Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So I just wrapped up my 2022 rolling project pan for the year, and I thought now is the absolute most perfect time to wrap up my 2022 plan to pan. So at the very end of 2021, I had shared with you a list of products that I wanted to pan for the new year. So for 2022, I had, I believe, 12 products that I wanted to finish up, and I was very determined to do so with all 12 of them. And then I did check in June as a mid-year check-in to keep myself on track with all of the focus products. And at that point, I had shared 4 additional items that I was pretty sure I would be able to pan, but I wanted to give myself that little push. And today we're going to be recapping all 16 products that I talked about in both of those videos, share with you where I'm at. And yeah, was I able to reach my panning goals on all of these products? Well, there are only 3 products I didn't hit my goal on. So yeah, I was pretty successful with my plan to pan. So let's get on into it. You know what? I'm just going to kick it off with the 3 that I was not able to finish. And then I got some empties to share with you in advance of my year-long makeup empties. So I was not able to hit my goal on one product that I did decide actually to declutter, which was the Becca Skin Love Foundation. I decluttered that back in, I think, March or April when I did kind of a bigger declutter for myself. I decided to purge it because I wasn't enjoying it as much as I had in the past. I think the formulation had changed or my preferences changed, maybe a combination of both, but I decided I didn't want to focus on trying to use it up when I had other foundation kind of formulas that I prefer more. And then I was not able to hit my goal on a product that has been in my year-long project pan for quite some time, several months at this point. It was the Essence Satin Touch Blush in the shade Satin Love. You know, I got so close to this, but I didn't want to burn myself out with it. I didn't want to hate pan it. And so I just allowed myself to use this when I felt compelled to do so. And I did make really great progress on it, but this is going to be a 2023 pan for me instead. And then the other product that I did not reach my goal on is one that I have already talked about in my 2023 plan to pan. So it is the number 7 Moisture Drenched Lipstick in the shade Spiced Latte. I have very little remaining of this product, but I never ended up prioritizing this as a project pan focus product. I kind of let it fall by the wayside for me over the beginning of this year. At the mid-year point check-in, I was like, I'm gonna roll it into my project pan in the fall, and then I never did. I totally forgot to roll this in. So there's a little bit left in here, and this is something that I'm going to push to try to use up in the earlier parts of 2023, now that it is again on my radar to do so. But everything else, guys, I panned it all. I panned everything else that I had put in the plan. So there are 13 products here to share with you. Let's just go right through them. I have them all in a basket right here. So I'm just gonna pick them without any kind of plan, any sort of structure. This product right here is the Milani Conceal Imperfect in the shade 03 Natural Light. She's empty, and thank goodness, because this is something that has been in my collection for years and years, and I'm so happy that I finished this off in 2022. It was the year of finishing up my pressed powders because I actually also finished off my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder this year as well. Oh, dang, look at her. Totally empty. I will be keeping this packaging, I think, after I do my year-long makeup empties, because I think this is a great container to repress into, because I love the mirror on it, and it's a really nice, like, large pan, so you can press things very evenly in here, I feel. There were 2 primers that I was planning to pan. One was the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab. This is the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. Totally empty. I cut into it. I didn't even end up putting this into my project pan. I just worked on it in the summer months on my own and was able to make really great progress on it. And then I also did the same thing with my Ulla Hendrickson Banana Bright Primer. Again, I cut right into it and used it all up. Do not really advise cutting into it unless you decant it into a more air-safe kind of container, something that doesn't allow the product to get oxygen exposed to it, because it really changed the texture, although there was very little left in here, so it was totally fine to use it up. It was just not as fresh and hydrating and nice as it had been previously. but I used up both of those primers. I recently finished off 2 products in my project pan, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. If you watched the finale, which I definitely suggest that you do, I finished this guy off, which feels so good. And then the Physicians Formula Butter Blush in the shade Natural Glow. This was not a product I used as a blush, so this actually brings down my highlighter category by 1, which feels good because this is an item that I used technically as a highlighter. It was very glowy, so I preferred to use it in that capacity. I really had this for years too long. It overstayed its welcome in my collection, but in the latter half of it being in my collection, I really did come to enjoy it in a way that I hadn't previously. So I'm happy that I at least got to enjoy it while I panned it, and I'm happy to say goodbye to it. I have far too many highlighters, far too many glowy products in general, so goodbye. I finished off my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Light Sand. This was something that I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm actually considering repurchasing this once I maybe work my way through one other concealer or maybe some other base products in my collection. I just want to get some of those numbers down before I amass more items, but I really did enjoy this. I really enjoyed the way that this sat on my under eye area. I loved the way that it looked and it brightened and it offered coverage, but it still just felt very skin-like in my opinion. And with my skin texture, it was just great. Another product that I actually really enjoyed, although it doesn't really suit my personal preferences lately. I don't know what it was about it. It was the Colourpop No Filter Sticks in the shade Light 67N. I dug every single last bit of this product out and I really liked it. I actually oftentimes use this more so as a cream concealer on my under eyes and on the face, and that's how I used it up. So it took a long time. It took me so much work to use this up, but I didn't put it into my project pan. It was something that I just used kind of independently, and it's gone. It's finally gone. I have a couple more highlighting products here as well. This is the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Blow Me Out. Thank goodness this is gone because this was so old, but it is a completely empty pan and it took me a long time to use this in my project pan, but I persevered and I did it. I made it happen and I'm so glad it's gone. Again, the highlighter count in my collection is so inflated that I'm so happy I used this up. And I used up a mini highlighter as well. This was the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizer, which is a liquid highlighter. This I ended up using mixed with body lotions. Actually, I didn't end up using it on the face this year to get it used up, but either way, it is done and dusted and out of my life. So yeah, that feels so good. And then in the mid-year check-in, I kind of rolled this in just to keep myself accountable on it. It is the Tarte Hydroflex Serum Foundation. This was in the shade 25N Light Medium Neutral. So I polished this off in the summer because this was a little bit of a deeper color versus other complexion products in my collection. So I used it up when I was at my most tan. And then I polished off 2 lip products that I had in my plan to pan, but I finished so many other lip products actually this year. I finished off 2 more lipsticks in addition to this one. This is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Radiant Lipstick in the shade Notorious. I dug all the way deep down into the cavern and completed it in its entirety. And then lastly was one lip gloss that I had set aside as a goal to finish for the year, but lip gloss was one of my most used categories this year, and I believe I finished off 5. So this was the Becca Glow Gloss in the shade Opal. I polished this off very early in the year last year, so this feels like a distant memory, but regardless, it is gone. And with that, that is all 16 products that I had on my Project Pan plan for 2022, and they are all pretty much gone. There is very little remaining in my blush that I want to finish in early 2023 now, the Essence one. Very little product in the number 7. 1 item was a declutter and 13 of those products got used up in their entirety. So yeah, I am so super hyped now to film my 2022 Makeup Empties video because this is just a small selection of everything that I was actually able to use up this year. So I hope that you're just as excited for that video as I am, because now I'm super, super excited. So that is everything on my 2022 plan to pan. I have officially wrapped up that chapter for this year, and yeah, if you want to see more products that I want to pan in the new year, definitely check out my 2023 plan to pan, and I will definitely be checking in on that one come like June time and maybe adding a few more products then. But yeah, that's everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.